All right, here we go. I'm going to see if we can actually get some people on live here to see if we are actually people can see me. Very, very, very disappointing in StreamYard. And I'll be dealing with that later. We're probably going to go to a different thing for it. That's insanity. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely out and out ridiculous. But it is what it is. So let me see what we got going on here. Live, boom. Six viewers, here we go. Okay. Round two, what's going on? All right, here we fucking go, everybody. All right, so I did not know what to tell you about that shit. I hope StreamYard can keep their shit up. And I'm just going to wait for some people going. Welcome back. Thank you very much. I'm very disappointed with StreamYard. I understand shit happens, but it's happening more and more and more with these things. I'm going to work some shit out, I believe. But let's go to screen share. And we are going to restart this. The whole deal. Actually, no. I'm not going to go over this shit. I can splice it together and whatever. But I did want to go over this. We got 47 people. I'm going to give it another minute or two for people to start joining up. And we're going to go right back here. Give me just one more second, guys. Boom. Yeah. Expect to see, that's a funny one, actually. Expect to see Tess Holliday sitting back here. Alan won't be back. That would imply there'd be effort involved. So, no, the problem was not on your end, Angela. It was not on your end. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Don't call us fat phobes. Call us pro health instead. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. So basically what we were saying is that this young man, and by the way, this now has got me spurned where I'm going to have to do a long form video breaking this shit down. So, but this young man, you know what? No, fuck it. We're going to start from the very fucking beginning. So I've got the fucking time to do it today. We're going to fucking do it. We are going to start from the very beginning, and maybe I'll retort a few of the things I said. So today, for those of you that have come back, and if by the way, if this happens again, if it would happen again, we will fucking make sure that I would just redo it tomorrow or something like that. I'm going to do this video because I think it's an interesting thing for how this gentleman's viewing himself. But already, so we're going to get started. And for a second, and this is no shit, I'll be very honest. I truly thought that YouTube had pulled my channel. Like I'm just like I really felt that was going to be a fucking thing. I know someone who is fat phobic. They have cut all their fat off their meat. That's a funny way to look at it. So anyway, I like it. I like it a lot. Here we go. And this is, as you can see, Mr. Beard. Oh, I'm going to pop this up. Mr. Beard, and I had never heard of him before. This just dozens of people sent this to me. But both sides of fatphobia debate need to stop. So we shall go and listen to his proclamation of him being correct. So. Many fat people. Wait.
The topic of
hang on, I wanted to go back to that. I didn't even read it at the beginning. Discussion of fatphobia, self-harm, eating disorders, and bullying. So he's giving a little disclaimer. That's good. Many fat people do not like to use the term obesity, so I have used it as sparingly as possible, only in medical context. Many fat people need to get the fuck over that because they're obese. It's a fucking actual medical term. Like, if something about, especially something you could change, especially something that you could absolutely change about you, if that bothers you, that other people say it, you are just, in fact, a weak motherfucker. So.
The topic of fatness is one of the most controversial topics on the internet. On the one side,
and it just shouldn't be. Discussion of fatness should not be a controversial topic. We should help as much as possible people to get to a healthy weight, get to develop healthy lifestyles We should help people overcome the struggles that they have that get there. We should help people eat and move in a way that is happy and healthy for them, that does not cause them physical ailment, pain, and long-term illness, chronic illness, and burden on the healthcare system and early death. It should not be controversial. It absolutely shouldn't. What is controversial is that people are in their fucking fifis about it and don't like to be told when they, in fact, have eaten themselves, gluttoned themselves into a state of ill health that then everybody, all of society, needs to share the burden for. That is reality. It should not be controversial. What should be controversial is somebody saying, I am 300 pounds and you can't tell if I'm healthy or not, because that is a lie. It should be controversial for people to openly lie about this shit. That's what should be controversial. Stating that people should get healthy for themselves, for their family, for the future of their health, and to avoid burdening the healthcare system and burdening themselves and their family, that's not controversial. That's just reality.
People can't even exist online without constant harassment and bullying.
That is ridiculous. First of all, you don't need to exist online. You may need to bank online, you may need to have email, but you do not need to socialize online. You do not need to. There's no it is not pertinent to you. It is your socialization, it's your chosen form. You don't need to. If you do not like it, all of society should not have to meld to you. If you are so fucking weak that somebody saying you're fat hurts your feelings, maybe don't be fat on the internet. I'm sorry. If it were to actually hurt my feelings where people would say I was bald, maybe I shouldn't be bald on the internet. It's my choice. It is a choice. The other people have a choice to either be mean or not be mean. They have a choice to actually say shit to you. They're choosing to say shit. You're choosing to be there. You choose how you feel about it. If you feel there's nothing wrong with being fat to the point where you should not change it, then somebody calling you fat should not be a problem to you. Like, people say shit to me all the time about my tattoos, which I purposely put on my body, and I purposely will add more to it soon, and I purposely love them. So if somebody else doesn't like them, that's on them. They sound rather weird when they pick on my physical appearance, because this is not at all about physical appearance. This is in its entirety, at least for me, about how people like this, who make it seem like somehow or another fat people are in any way discriminated against, when in fact they are the most privileged people on the fucking planet. The American fat person is the most privileged people on the fucking planet, especially in their insistence that nobody should actually say something to them about it. Fuck, that's crazy.
Conservatives like Ben Shapiro have created an entire market around calling out fat people and sending his millions of followers to go harass them.
Does he send them to go harass them? Like, that's actually almost an inflammatory statement that Ben Shapiro could likely sue you for. He doesn't. You would have to be able to prove he sends people to go harass. You're accusing him that he is committing a crime. You realize that, right? Like, I mean, I understand that people don't understand that, but you are actually defaming this person based off of your opinion, stating it as fact to people. That is actually possibly actionable. And the stuff I've seen about Ben Shapiro, he does not do that. I mean, I understand that out of weakness, people automatically assume, but and that's what this is. It's weakness. This whole thing so far.
However, on the other side, you have some fat activists saying that intentional weight loss of any kind is fatphobic.
Which it is amazing that they do say that. And intentional weight loss from a morbidly obese state is saving your own life and unburdening yourself and your family in society. Intentional weight loss, especially when done very healthy, like, there is almost no chronic illness that is not made better for an obese person by losing like 5 to 10 pounds, like almost none. Like, I mean, almost no illness is not made better by not being fat.
I have personally felt caught in the middle of this entire discussion. This video is honestly a scary one to make because I know it will inevitably lead to some fatphobic people calling me a lazy fatty, and it will probably also lead to some fat activists calling me fatphobic.
So did you notice how anybody that is going to speak out against him, he's going to say that I'm going to call him a lazy fatty? No, I'm going to call you a little delusional and in your fifis and shit like that. I'm openly going to state that, like, how he is placing himself as, in the center, but all right, like completely right for both sides, is a fucking issue. It really, really is.
But as a fat person myself, whose mental health has honestly gone through a lot of ups and downs because of people on both sides of this issue, I
Your mental health has gone up and down by internet shit. You should get off the fucking internet.
felt like I needed to make this video.
You didn't need to. Again, this is a video that has a paid promo in it on a large YouTube, monetized YouTube channel. You did this for money. You did this because it would get clicks. You didn't feel like you needed to make this. You wanted to. I didn't feel like I needed to make this video. I wanted to because I wanted to discuss your fucking idiocy, and because I wanted to get attention drawn to it, and because I am like, this video is monetized. Make no fucking mistake about it. I have released videos that were not monetized, that will never be monetized. They're normally about suicide prevention and things like that because I don't think I should be monetizing that shit. I really fucking don't. But this gentleman, you didn't feel you needed to make it. If you felt you needed to make it, if you were compelled to make this, there would not be a paid promo in this video.
I honestly don't know if I've ever seen a commentary video on the internet that approaches this topic with the proper nuance that it requires. Now,
So, I mean, he's going to just, again, we talked about this before I got shut off, but he's going to talk about the proper nuance it requires. The proper nuance it requires is based in reality, where there is no such thing as fat phobia. Where if indeed there's nothing wrong with being fat, then there's nothing wrong with being fat phobic. Like, the whole concept of fat phobia is a catchword to shut this fucking people up because you have no retort to the actual argument of you gluttoning yourself, the overconsumption, the privileged overconsumption that was required to glutton yourself into a state of ill health, which then all of society bears the cost for and leads to millions of excess deaths a year that could be avoidable by lifestyle change. That is reality. Nuance is you trying to say that you think that your viewpoint is better. Nuance is the same thing that people are saying, like, well, you know, the pandemic is a nuanced topic. Masks are nuanced. No, there's either is it working or is it not working. It's so fucking ridiculous. Nuance is my fifis.
I'm not saying this to imply that I'm some sort of enlightened being with the perfect perspective on fatness. I'm sure in this video I'll make some mistakes and get some things wrong because this topic...
Yes, you said fat phobia is a real thing.
Topic is incredibly complex, and I'm not a scientist.
This is not a complex topic. It's not. What makes it complex is that people are in complete denial about what their realities, their realities. What makes it complex is that people try to deny the fact that them gluttoning themselves into a state of ill health is in fact bad for them. That's real. That's what makes it complex. It was not complex 50 years ago when people were much, much, much less obese.
Or a doctor, but neither are most of the people who give their opinions on this issue, so hopefully I'll be okay.
And you will be okay, and you have a right to your opinion, no matter how fucking based in your fifis it is. As a person that has said that, you know, because people calling you fat has actually affected your mental health and well-being, while also then claiming that there's nothing wrong with being fat, likely because, you know, that's where it's at with this crazy shit. What the fuck?
But what I hope I can add to this conversation is a genuine attempt to approach this topic as objectively, neutrally, and empathetically as possible.
Here's objectively and neutrally. It adds burden to society. It is bad for the person physically. That's nuance. You know why it's nuance? Because it's reality. Being obese is in fact bad for you. It is in fact unhealthy for you. I don't understand how. Somebody just asked, can a reasonable person define fat phobia? Define it. That's an excellent fucking question. Excellent fucking question.
Obviously, I'm going to have some natural bias as a fat person myself, but hopefully I can give some compelling arguments for why I believe what I believe.
So far, you're batting 0.
So before you leave your comment calling me a lazy fatty or your comment labeling me as fatphobic, all I ask is that you genuinely try to listen to what I have to say. But let me be absolutely clear. The last thing I want to do is be seen as a centrist when it comes to the issue of fat phobia. There is no such thing as being in the middle when it comes to the topic of making life better for fat.
Now look at this. Look how he has this view. Look how he has this view. He has, we should make life worse for fat people, and that is anybody apparently that is saying that, you know, you should lose weight. Somehow that makes life worse for them. Or we should make life better for fat people, and there's no centrist. So the two things are we should do good for them or we should be mean to them. Like, that's the fucked up thing. How about this? Fat people should make it easier or better for everybody else in society, including themselves, by not being as fucking fat. Where's that argument on this thing? Well, because I'm wondering on his scale of, he's obviously trying to paint the people that has made fun of him and hurt his little fucking fifis as evil, and trying to claim he has like some sort of centrist and both sides are wrong bullshit. If you consider both sides wrong, what's up with this fucking graphic that clearly paints one side as being mean and the other side is just trying too hard to make things good for people? One side is just like, let's be mean and call fat people fat because we know it hurts their feelings, even though many people say, how about you not be fat as to not fucking burden society with your fucking fatness and burden society with the massive cost to our healthcare system, to the lost production, to the overabundance, the overburdening of the healthcare system, of which we were so concerned for 2 fucking years that we closed all of society for. We have to close society. We have to slow the spread because we can't have the hospital systems get overloaded when in fact 50% of all admissions are lifestyle illness related, and 90 to 89% of all chronic illness and disease is lifestyle illness related, and 90% of all healthcare burden, of all, 89% of all healthcare burden coming in the form of $3.8 trillion a year in America is chronic illness related and lifestyle illness related. Trillions of dollars. So why can't we have a side like, we should try to have everybody be healthy so they live a happy, healthy, long lifetime and don't have to be a slave to the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry because of their chronic illness and disease that their lifestyle-driven gluttony that has made them obese is causing? Or we should be in complete denial of all these things and just go with our fifis and try to be fucking super sweet to everybody by the societal lie of telling everybody, you know what, you're fat as fuck, but that means you're awesome. You're totally not sick. Already, you're batting zero.
Fat people. On the one side, you have the fatphobic people who make life worse for fat people, and on the other side, you have the fat activists who are trying to make life better for fat people. I mean,
for real, on one side, listen to what he says.
The issue of fatphobia. There is no such thing as being.
I mean, this is bias. Like already, like I love how he's like, I'm going to try to provide some nuance. Now, on the one side, we have people that are trying to make worse for fat people, and people that are trying to make life better for fat people. What the fuck? That's like, how's that not bias? Like, how is that not incredible bias? Like right off the fucking bat from this motherfucker's fifis because he's had fat people have called him fat and it's hurtful. Fucking ridiculous.
And on the other side, you have the fat activists who are trying to make life better for fat people. I am 100% on the side of the fat activists.
Yeah, no shit, because you don't want to be called on your bullshit because you are in fact gluttoning yourself daily. Daily, you are over-consuming. Daily, you are over-consuming calories compared to your caloric expenditure that is keeping you being a fat person. Daily. You are over-consuming. Daily, you are over-consuming in a privileged fashion and do not want to give up your fucking privilege. You are eating in a daily fashion, that in a privileged way, that then gives you privilege over other people because then all of society has to help support what is going to be your future chronic illnesses if you do not have them already. It is privilege. So of course you're going to side with whoever's going to make you feel best.
The problem is, I think that some of the ways certain fat activists have gone about trying to make life better for fat people are actually hurting fat people. And I think we should be able to have these nuanced conversations about how we go about helping fat people.
You can't have a nuanced conversation. Like, I don't think this dude understands what the word nuanced means. You literally took, from the get-go, a biased stance that one side bad, one side good. One side's just too good. They're so good that they go too far, is what his argument's likely going to be. And then the other side, just bad. Just they in an evil way want to make life worse for fat people. It can't have anything to do with people not wanting to fucking support gluttony or support people eating themselves to the point where they have to get their legs chopped off. Somehow or another, you think this is nuanced. Like, your argument is fucking weak and poor already. Like, this is sadness that this dude and anybody in his comment section thinks this is somehow nuanced. You cannot start a nuanced conversation with assuming one side has ill intentions and the other side has good intentions. And the problem is the one side has ill intentions and the other side, their good intentions are just done in a bad way. They're too good. They try to be too good with it. That's fucking patheticness. Like, I'm sorry, but I know that this guy's trying to fancy himself as some sort of intellectual when in fact his logic is shattered at the very fucking beginning.
Problem is, some of the times where I try to discuss the nuances of the topic, I accidentally end up enabling the fatphobic people. There have been times.
The only people that are being enabled are people that are in complete denial that being obese is in any way not a blight on our society. When you look at the statistics of how much death, illness, chronic disease, burden, how much money, how, again, much death could be avoided by people taking responsibility for the shit they put in their face hole. If you would look at that objectively, there's not in any way a way to look at it any differently.
Times where I'm genuinely trying to discuss the nuances of the topic, but my comments end up being filled with fatphobes, which breaks my heart because I fucking hate fatphobes. So I understand.
So your nuanced approach is that I fucking hate fatphobes. I'm going to let all fat people know I love you. I love you enough that I'm going to tell you the truth about your fucking life station. Your life station is you've got a problem with food and you're in complete denial. If you are a morbidly obese person, you need to get help right now. We are at a stage in society where things are going to start breaking down. I love fat people. I love everybody. I want everybody to take responsibility for their own life and understand what it's like to be healthy, to not be a slave to the healthcare system, because fat people are going to be, if they are not already, slaves to the healthcare system because you need their medicine to keep you alive. I want people to experience life without chronic pain that they are going to develop at a much higher rate due to their gluttony, because they are literally in a state of constant inflammation when they are obese. And the extra weight is horrible for your joints. It leads to cardiovascular disease and diabetes. I love fat people. I love obese people. There is not a single obese person that I would not try to help if they asked me to. Not one. Not one. Not one. Not like even the people that tried to fucking have me canceled for 4 fucking years. If one of them reached out to me, I have people that are in my coaching right now, multiple people in my coaching right now that have openly told me that they used to try to troll me, and then my voice was the one they heard in a fucking comment that all of a sudden made it so I fucked like they were climbing upstairs, they got ill climbing up the stairs, or they felt like they were gonna have a heart attack, and my voice is the one they fucking heard, and they came and got my coaching. I love all fat people. You saying you hate fat phobes, that is fucking bullshit. That is complete bias. There's no nuance left. You keep talking about this word nuance, you should look it up in a fucking dictionary, boy.
And that me coming in here saying, we need to discuss the nuances of the topic can lead to some fat people feeling defensive because they would rather focus on dismantling fat phobia, not on discussing nuance.
There's no dismantling of something that doesn't fucking exist. Like, dismantling of fat phobia is code for stop telling us the reality of our life station, of how us gluttoning ourselves is bad for us, our families, and society. Stop reminding me that my life fucking choices are in fact bad for myself, my family, society, my fucking social network. Stop. The dismantling fat phobia means stop reminding me that I am going to eat myself to death at an early age while after burdening all of society by helping share pay for my fucking ill health. That's what dismantling fat phobia is code for.
But again, the problem is that I, as a fat person, have felt personally hurt by some of the things that these fat activists have said. And
oh no, you felt hurt by something somebody has said. Are you okay, little boy?
I feel like I should be allowed to speak my mind about this topic.
You absolutely can. I'm happy you are, because I'm allowed to speak my thoughts on your topics. You absolutely are.
Especially as someone who has lived experience being a fat person.
I have lived experience being a fat person. Fatter than you, as a matter of fact. I have a lived experience being fatter than you. So I am telling you that lived experience from me showed that I was not taking responsibility for my own fucking health. And I convinced myself that being fat as fuck and treating myself poorly, which, by the way, if I was fat as fuck while I worked out hours a day, I know that you just don't move. I know that you eat like shit, dude, and I know you don't fucking move. I know you don't give a fuck about your health, and you don't want anybody to call you on it. They've hurt your fifis from telling you the motherfucking truth that you should lose weight.
I'm going to break this video down into two sections. In the first half, I'll start by explaining all of the things that I agree with these fat activists about. And
that's the one I'm going to fucking tear up because I don't even fucking want to hear his criticisms on fat. I don't even need to. And I ran out of time.
in the second half, I'll express my critiques of certain messages that I've seen being promoted by some fat activists. Even if
I love how he's like, I am going to talk about the things I completely disagree with about people being fat phobic and how it's horrible for everybody's existence, and I am totally hurt in my feelings and 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 my feelings. And then he's gonna be like, and then I'm gonna talk about how some people from the fat acceptance community take it a little too far.
you disagree with me, I hope that you'll at least be able to see where I'm coming from, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to find some common ground about how to make life better for fat people.
Yeah, we can. We can have them lose weight, and we can realize that you don't even understand what the word nuance means.
The fat positivity / acceptance / liberation movement is a leftist anti-capitalist movement that came about as a response to the liberal body positivity movement.
I gotta love how fat phobia is also linked with anti-capitalism when they are in fact the biggest consumers of every fucking thing in America. I mean, like they consume more of every fucking thing than anybody else, and they've got themselves convinced somehow they're anti-capitalist. It is literally comedy that writes itself. Like it is hard to have a rational, real, logical conversation when you hear people say, "Don't make fun of me because I've gluttoned myself into fucking ill health that I'm going to need more medical care for," and then have that person also say that they're anti-capitalism in America. It's hilarious. It's delusional.
Liberal body positivity is all about making everyone learn to love their bodies and accept that their bodies are beautiful. They think that as long as each individual person thinks that their body is beautiful, all of our problems will be solved.
Everybody should be. I find no problem with somebody saying, hey, I think I look beautiful as a fat person. I thought I looked like a fucking hitman when I was big and fat. It's not like I wasn't happy with how I looked because like once I took my clothes off, I was obviously very fucking saggy and flabby. But I fucking didn't hate how I looked, especially in a suit. I looked like the guy that picked up the fucking white envelope at the end of the week at most places in the fucking in the South Hills of Pittsburgh when I was fucking younger. But what the fuck? I mean, I don't fucking get the difference. Like you can love how you look no matter what, but if it's not healthy for you, that you should weigh that as reality.
Now, I don't really like this movement for a lot of reasons. First of all, you don't have to always love your body or think that it's beautiful at all times. Sometimes you're gonna hate your body. Bodies can be real pieces of shit. Sometimes bodies just decide to develop cancer for no reason.
And they also 50% of the time develop cancer for how you treat it. 50% of all cases of cancer are lifestyle driven. And bodies can be real pieces of shit when you treat them like shit. My body's amazing. For the shit I put my body through, I have it so healthy right now, I can't even fucking believe it. My body is fucking amazing, and it has nothing to do with how it looks. My body is truly fucking amazing. I mean, this is no shit. For how I've treated my body in the past, how I've abused it with, partying and stuff like that when I was younger, but not to mention that, how I abused it with physical activity, squatting super heavy weight, all that shit. My body is amazing. Now that I'm treating my body healthy, I'm getting plenty of vitamins. I'm watching antiviral replication supplements. I'm fucking treating my body healthily and how I eat. I'm minimizing alcohol. I'm treating the things that I only should treat as treats. And I'm eating mostly whole foods and healthy foods, whole lean meats, vegetables, stuff like that. And I'm training at a decently high level, but nothing super hard. The athletic shit I can do, especially for my age, is kind of fucking amazing. My body's amazing. If you feel at your young age, little boy, that that your body is a real piece of shit, maybe you should stop treating it like shit, because you clearly are treating it like shit because you are, again, fat, and it hurts to the point where it hurts your fifis when somebody calls you fat.
Would you ever tell someone, you just need to learn to love your cancer, and then all of your problems will be solved? No, fuck that. I personally suffer from asthma, and I don't love my asthma, but I am trying to learn to live with it and accept it because it's what I've got, and it is what it is.
You know what helped with your asthma? Losing weight? No shit. I mean, like, we can actually fucking take a look here. Just fucking. Weight loss in obese individuals with doctors diagnosed asthma is associated with 48 to 100% remission of asthma symptoms and use of asthma medications. Published studies furthermore reveal that weight loss in obese asthmatic improves asthma control, and that especially surgically induced weight loss results in significant improvement in asthma severity, use of asthma medications, dyspnea, exercise tolerance, and acute exacerbation, including hospitalizations due to asthma. Furthermore, weight loss in obese asthmatics is associated with improvement in levels of lung function and airway responsibility to inhale, what I can't even pronounce that word, whereas no significant improvement can be observed when exhale nitric oxide and other markers. So, in other words, overweight and obese adults with asthma experience high symptomatic remission rate and significant improvement in asthma control, including objective measures of disease activity and after weight loss. Although these positive effects of weight loss on asthma-related health outcomes seem not to be accompanied by remission or improvements on markers of eosinophilic airway inflammation, because once that's there, it's there. It has potentially important implications for future burden of asthma. So, there's your fucking nuance, you fucking idiot. I mean, geez, what the fuck? I mean, how do we get there? I have asthma and blah, 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 blah. Lose fucking weight, your asthma would be better. Like, how is this fucking hard to understand? My goodness.
That's why I prefer body acceptance over forcing body positivity.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you are in an ill state of health and your body is ill, the acceptance you should have is that if you're born without a thyroid, if you're born with hypothyroidism or a non-functioning thyroid, you need to accept the fact that you need to be very specific, treat your body very healthily. If you have some sort of genetic disorder, or if you have some sort of illness that you've either developed through lifestyle illness or something like that, you need to accept that your body has that. True body acceptance is accepting whether it's healthy and not healthy. True body acceptance, true body love, true body positivity is treating your body in a positive way. And if you have body acceptance and you have asthma, you'd be losing some fucking weight, dude, so you could fucking then possibly put your asthma into remission from 48 to 100%, according to the last fucking study I just showed you. You are not nuanced at all. You are in denial of your life station, that you have eaten yourself into illness and or are eating yourself to remain in illness. That is reality. That is true acceptance.
Also, it's completely impossible to convince yourself that you look beautiful every second of every day. Sometimes you're going to look in the mirror and see an ugly piece of shit staring back at you. And I think...
And that is everybody. That is not just fat people. That is fucking everybody. You are not special. You are not special. Yeah, people need to be told this much more often. You are not fucking special. There's nothing special about you. Your actions are what make you... You can't just look at yourself and be like, oh my God, I am fucking glorious. If you do that, you've got fucking problems. For real, if you do that all the time, you've really got fucking problems. You've got narcissism. But this is not something that's specifically like just for fat people. This is reality. People do not... This is not a fat person specific thing where you sometimes hate your fucking body. Everybody does.
That is totally fine. Everyone has a love-hate relationship with their body. Bodies are just neutral vessels that exist to get us through life. Now, don't get me wrong.
Oh my God. Bodies are not a neutral vessel just to get you through life. Your body is you. How you treat your body is you. It affects your psychology, it affects your hormones, it affects everything like that. How you treat your body. It is not a neutral vessel. Some people's bodies are just better than other people's bodies. And I'm not talking about aesthetics. I'm just talking about some people are born with genetic defects or illness. That's reality. Like a body that's born to that. Like some people's bodies are better for athleticism. Some people's bodies are better for swimming. Some people's bodies are better for. Some people are just fucking better than you. That's shit. Some people's bodies are just born better than other people's bodies. That's just a reason for the person that has a body that may have not been born as well as another person's body. They should treat that body really fucking special. Everybody should treat their body really, really, really fucking well. It's not a neutral vessel. It's not something it's not a vessel. You don't have a fucking spare one. You can't go to the body fucking shop and buy a new fucking body.
When you're feeling good and your mental health is in a good place, I think body positivity can be great. Speaking words of affirmation to yourself can have a real benefit. But
Speaking words of affirmation to yourself can have a real benefit. How about doing positive shit for yourself? This reminds me of the fucking of the fucking one thing like people like me and I'm special and I'm good and gosh darn people love me. Like what the fuck, dude? Like that's fucking weakness right there.
positivity on yourself can turn toxic very quickly, and it can actually end up damaging your mental health because it can lead to feelings of inadequacy when you aren't able to live up to this standard of constant positivity that you've set for yourself. This is what's known as toxic positivity. Also, like I mentioned, body positivity is a liberal movement, and liberals are individualists and they're capitalists. So if you want to be body positive, then buy this all bodies are beautiful t-shirt, then buy this Kylie Jenner lip gloss so you can feel like a boss bitch, then buy this all bodies are good bodies wall art, then chant my body is beautiful in the mirror 10 times every morning, and then you will never hate your body ever again.
Or, just hear me out. Or they could come and watch your channel with this video that has a paid promotion on it, and then look at your stuff, and then obviously make sure you get views, and then you get revenue. You know, people do your grind. I make money off getting people healthy, off coaching, which again, people, you can check out our coaching right here. I'm going to put the link in. It's been a minute. But, and I got to fix that shit too. But for real, like, I have no problem with anybody making money. Not a fucking single person making money. It's shit like this where people like him somehow then fucking say, like, they're like, oh, they're just trying to make money off you. They're just trying to make money off you. Like, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, you don't think you did that? You don't think this is how what the fuck you did too? Like, I love how he's pointing out how other people are trying to make money off of you. I'm not. Shut the fuck up, bro. I mean, you clearly are. Like, clearly are. I mean, you're not doing this because you fucking love people, dude. You're doing this to make money. Fucking sadness right here. Fucking.
This hyper-capitalist version of body positivity ignores that to achieve true body positivity and true liberation for fat people, we have to dismantle the toxic elements of the diet industry, the fitness industry, the beauty industry, the plastic surgery industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry. You can't just go buy a body positive t-shirt from Amazon that was most likely produced in a sweatshop and think that that's somehow going to improve society in any way. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to buy things that make you happy, but just don't get stuck thinking only surface level, because all of the industries that I mentioned want you stuck thinking surface level.
Notice how he doesn't say food, the food industry, the fast food industry, which I'm sure this motherfucker has been to a McDonald's or two. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Like, dude, like, this guy is against capitalism and he's fat. That's a joke in itself. Like, that's comedy that writes itself. You eat in such abundance that you are, in fact, eating yourself into illness and exacerbating your asthma, by the way. And he did say food? Let me check. He said food industry. Okay, so he did say food industry. But if you're an anti-capitalist, are you growing your own? Like, I highly hard, like, unless he's growing his own stuff. But my bad, my apologies. I didn't realize he said food.
Also, because body positivity is an individualist movement, meaning it's focused on the individual rather than on society as a whole, you regularly hear people saying things like, body positivity is for everyone. Skinny people need to love their bodies just as much as fat people do. And while I obviously agree that on an individual level, every person alive should try to love their body as much as it's humanly possible to love their body, and it is never okay to bully anyone for their body, whether they're...
Say whatever the fuck you want. All speech is fucking good speech. Free speech is good speech. If you don't like what somebody's saying to you, don't fucking listen to that person. Grow a fucking pair. Grow the fuck up.
Fat or skinny, this completely ignores viewing the issue on a systemic level. In general,
the systemic level is people have eaten themselves in ill health, and the entirety of a society is having to support their fucking illness in trillions of fucking dollars an extra year in lifestyle-driven illness, plus overloading the hospital system to the point where a new novel virus breaks out and we have to close all of society because we're worried about overloading the hospital system that is already full of over 50% lifestyle-driven comorbidities, lifestyle-driven chronic illness.
In general, fat people are much more hurt by fatphobic systems than skinny people are.
Fat people are much more hurt by themselves than anybody else. Nobody hates a fat person more than they hate themselves for keeping themselves fat. Nobody. Not one fat person, including this dude, could possibly say that he doesn't realize his gluttony is hurting him. Not one. Not fucking one.
Society, skinny people are seen as the beauty standard, and fat people are seen as lazy and deserving of ridicule simply for being fat.
Please tell me that this, like, how do, like, okay, so, by the way, if you're a skinny hot chick and you show off your body being a skinny hot chick, according to this guy, you don't get made fun of. You do, just behind your back. or to your face. You get called a whore. You get called all sorts of shit. People interact with each other in society in ways that are not nice. That is human fucking nature. We are competitive fucking species. To pretend nobody should say shit to you about shit that they think might hurt your feelings is insanity. It happens to everybody. Do you know who is horrible? Horrible to every fucking body out there. Horrible. The fat acceptance movement. They are horrible. They are incredibly mean to people. Watch a fat person that was from the fat acceptance movement try to lose weight for their health, and watch how the fat acceptance movement treats these people. They say shit about everything about the fucking person they can fucking think about. They think the same shit, because that's the thing. What he's talking about is the systemic lying to people. That is what people are trying to fucking propagate. The systemic lying of, you are awesome as long as you keep saying that fat people are beautiful, and as long as you keep saying that there's nothing wrong with being fat, as long as you don't keep reminding me that my gluttony is eating me into ill health and that it has made it so that I can barely walk up a flight of stairs. As long as you don't remind me of that, you're awesome. But the very second that you try to decide that you need to lose weight for your health, that reminds me that I've eaten myself into ill health, so therefore I fucking hate you because you're reminding me how badly I'm treating me. That is body positivity and the fat acceptance movement right there. That is fat liberation. When they literally know that they're so ill that anybody that in any way speaks out against their fatness, they try to fucking cancel because it reminds them of how ill they are. And it reminds them of the reality of their fucking life station. And somebody just said, look what they did to Adele. Look what they did to Adele. Look how fucking visceral they got with her.
Solving the issues fat people face isn't as simple as just convincing them all to love themselves.
No, solving the issues fat people face is trying to help them get as healthy as fucking possible. That's the fucking reality.
This would be like saying that we can solve racism by just telling people, don't be racist. Racism solved. No, in order to fix racism,
it really upsets me when people equate racism to fucking fat phobia. Fucking bullshit. First of all, you make yourself fat. You keep yourself fat. You do it. You do it. To judge people off their actions is a real world fucking thing, especially when those actions hurt themselves, hurt their families, hurt their friend circle, and cause burden upon the rest of the fucking society. To judge people on that and say that that is not fucking appropriate it is the right of every fucking citizen to say maybe you should lose some fucking weight, especially if the person has or is going to eat themselves into chronic illness that then we all need to support and face the fucking burden for. But to claim that the same thing is you're fat and you're black, or you're fat or you're Indian, or you're fat or you're white is the same fucking thing is complete fucking bullshit, and it panders to steal somebody else's fucking plight. Fat people are not marginalized. They take up most of the motherfucking margin.
We have to dismantle systemic racism. We have to fix the systems that are hurting minorities, the criminal justice system, the housing system,
So now he's equating the majority of the population, because I could estimate we're over 50% obesity, but we're about 80% fucking overweight. The majority of the population is somehow marginalized. He's equating it to minorities. You're not a minority, dude.
Prison system, the education system, etc. In the same way, if we want to help fat people, we have to fix the systems that are hurting them. Fat children.
That would be their system at home of eating. That's the system that's hurting them. The system that is hurting obese people is the system of their eating versus their caloric expenditure. That is the system that's hurting them. The way the system actually hurts them, the way our system actually hurts fat people, is it enables them. Is we have made it so luxurious, we have given people so much privilege that they can be gluttonous in America, no matter what their social station, no matter what their economic station. We have made it so people can glutton themselves and then just get assistance from the medical field to, instead of addressing the actual issue, which the healthcare system is a fucked up place because they're the ones that should be saying right off the bat, get fucking healthy. We should be pushing this. They don't. I've covered it many times. But they are privileged as fuck. Obese people are privileged. It is privileged to overconsume food to the stage where you eat yourself into chronic illness and then expect society to help pay the fucking tab for it. It is fucking privilege.
children are 4 times more likely to face bullying than thin children. Fat people are more likely to be abused by their partner than
They're 4 times more likely to face bullying than thin children. I don't believe that, but I do think that if you look at nature in animal species, that happens where the out of shape animal does not do well with the group.
thin people. Fat people attempt suicide more often. Fat people get hired for jobs less often. The beauty, fitness, and diet industries push the standard that everyone needs to be skinny, which causes fat people to develop eating disorders. And
if you are fat, you already have disordered eating. You are eating in a disordered fashion. If you have eaten yourself into illness, if you have eaten to the point where you have to if you have eaten to the point where you cannot function, motorize your body the way that you would need to in order to fucking survive, you have disordered eating. Fat people don't get eating disorders from wanting to be thin. The fatness is already the disordered eating. Like, people need to fucking accept that. The fatness in of itself is a symptom of disordered eating. Period. I'm not saying other people beyond fat people do not have disordered eating, because many people have disordered eating. I have disordered eating, and I am what would be considered very athletic right now. However, being obese means you already eat in a disordered fashion. Everything he just said is motivation to change your diet. Exactly.
and toxic diets get fat people stuck in a harmful cycle of gaining and losing weight.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I'm actually going to, a harsh truth, and this is going to be the harsh truth for today. Diets don't fail. People fail. Okay? A diet is a temporary change in your caloric intake along with your caloric expenditure in order to reduce a certain weight change. So say you are on a fat loss diet, you're trying to lose weight, and you cut your calories really low, and you increase your caloric expenditure by moving your body a lot more often, and you lose a bunch of weight. The diet has fucking worked. You know what has failed? You, by not planning to eat that way for the rest of your motherfucking life. And if you lose weight in a way that you can't sustain for the rest of your life, you should try to find a way to change your lifestyle to get to a healthier weight that you can systemically live with, that you like the way you're eating. And that's what we do at our coaching. Diets do not fail people. People fail themselves because they do not plan for what happens after the fucking diet. They just go back to their old fucking habits. It's like, whoa, I lost the weight. I'm good now. Like, when people say keto worked for me, keto did work for you. The problem is you gained weight because you went off keto, or you didn't plan to eat in a similar caloric load as what you were eating on keto, or a similar caloric load that would also produce the same hormone balance that you had on it. Diets do not fail people. There's this whole fat fucking activist bullshit that 95% of all diets fail. Even if that were true, that would mean that all you need to do is try 20 fucking diets statistically, and then you would lose weight and keep it off. If 95% of all diets fail, that means that 1 in 20 fucking work. You dumb fucks. Do math occasionally. My God. But besides that, it works. You lose the weight. You just fucking need to be able to fucking keep it off. And that is on you because you did not plan for how you were going to eat after the fucking diet.
Fat people have to struggle to find clothing that fits them properly.
Oh, no. What the fuck? I mean, first of all, my wife is, 5'1.5". I'm going to give it to her. She's 5'1.5", and she's not a big woman. She's athletic. She has the very fucking hard time finding clothes. You know what the racks are full of? Size 14 to 24. That's what they're fucking full of.
To find seating in restaurants and struggle to find flights that will accommodate.
You struggle to find seating in restaurants. That's a you problem. You did that. You made yourself so fucking big you don't fit into the average fucking seat. And the fucking air flight thing?
Them. They also face discrimination in the medical field. Fat people often have to pay more for health insurance, and
they should. They use more fucking. They should absolutely should. If you are going to eat in a gluttonous fashion, in a very privileged, if you are going to exert your obese privilege on all of society and eat in a gluttonous way that makes it so you are going to incur more healthcare costs, you should pay more for your fucking healthcare. You absolutely fucking should pay more for your healthcare.
Doctors often give fat people incomplete care because of fatphobic bias.
That is not why. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. So this is what he just said is completely biased. The medical field, the healthcare industry, fucking sucks. It is fucking horrible. It is horrible, horrible, horrible. I was a healthcare executive for over a dozen years. I can tell you I left because the industry is, in fact, fucking horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. The healthcare industry kills like 400,000 people through medical error a fucking year, and it doesn't include cross contamination from being in a fucking hospital. It absolutely does not. It is fucking horrible. It kills people. It kills people. If you think that fat people are discriminated against in the fucking healthcare industry more, it's because they access the healthcare industry more. And to say that they don't get proper treatment because of fat phobic bias, they don't get good treatment because, again, the healthcare industry sucks, but many times the diagnostic data on them does not work on them. Like x-rays do not work as well on a fat person because there is a balance between how much, it's called photon digression or something like that, photon regression or something like that. They can't crank up the radiation high enough to get through the fucking fat to fucking check out your internal organs. A lot of times ultrasounds don't work because it's about the sound wave degradation to get through the fucking fat. I mean, these are fucking, it's physics. It's reality. It's like, there's actual real world shit when fucking glitter doesn't fall from the sky from the unicorn that fucking shitted on you. It's fucking reality.
Doctors will often tell their fat patients that they just need to lose weight rather than actually listening to their symptoms.
As a reality, if you are a fat person and you walk into a doctor's office and they do not discuss with you losing weight, they are guilty of malpractice and you should leave that fucking office. If you are an obese person, if you are morbidly fucking obese, and your doctor does not fucking tell you to lose weight, that find a new fucking doctor. For real, because they're negligent. They're fucking negligent. If you are obese, it should be a topic of discussion every doctor's visit because it is in fact a state of illness. It is in fact a state of constant inflammation. It is in fact a state that has your hormones fucked up because fat is estrogenic and you have more fat than what your body needs and your hormones are going to be out of whack because of it. It is, oh my God. There is almost no medical issue that is not made better by losing fucking weight. Yours included, young man. If you fucking actually lost some weight, maybe your asthma wouldn't be as bad, as I showed earlier, which you apparently, for being so nuanced, did no fucking research on.
I have actually personally faced this type of medical fat phobia. Last year, I was suffering from a condition called costochondritis, which approaches this topic with the proper nuance. But forcing positivity on yourself can turn toxic very quickly. Mentioned, want you the prison system, the education system, etc. The beauty fitness.
Sorry about that, guys. Oh, here it is.
Costochondritis, which is
an inflammation of the cartilage that connects the ribs to the breastbone, sternum. Pain caused by costochondritis might mimic that of a heart attack. So let's take a look at costochondritis, obesity. Hang on a second. When the joints and cartilage become inflamed around the chest cavity. Costochondritis can also be caused by vitamin D deficiency, which is another thing that happens to obese people too. So in other words, your doctor telling you to lose weight because of costochondritis is likely because it would have fucking helped the costochondritis. Fucking crazy.
Inflammation of the cartilage that connects the ribs to the breastbone. This was causing me excruciating chest pain and even led to nerve damage in my back. When I went to a doctor and told...
And I just wanted to say I'm very sorry to hear that, dude. For real, no matter what people want to say, I'm very sorry to hear about anybody's plight or illness or pain. I really am. However, you are in a chronic inflammatory state as I'm looking at you, and if you lost weight, the doctors are probably saying it would help.
Him about these symptoms, all he said to me was, "You're out of shape, you need to lose weight." He failed to actually listen to my symptoms and give me a proper diagnosis because...
That was a proper diagnosis. He may not have fully addressed your symptoms, but he did give you a very clear, proper diagnosis that you are out of shape and you need to lose weight because you are out of shape and you need to lose weight. If for nothing else, to help control your asthma, which we went over earlier.
All he was focused on was my fatness. However, when I went to another doctor to get a second opinion, he actually listened to my symptoms and was able to diagnose that I was suffering from costochondritis. He put me on some medications which reduce the inflammation, and because he actually listened to my symptoms, I was able to recover from the costochondritis.
Which was likely caused by the way you eat the food you eat and you being obese and being in a morbidly obese state. I mean, that's you ate yourself into illness as a young man, an inflammatory illness. That doesn't occur to you that your lifestyle caused that. Fucking nuance.
Fat people have to live in constant doubt of whether or not the advice their doctor is giving them is actually accurate because it might be being influenced by fatphobic bias.
No, it's just that everybody should get a second opinion. Everybody at this stage about the healthcare industry should be wondering if the advice you're getting is good. If you are getting some sort of very serious advice or you don't believe a doctor has, if you go to a doctor and you say, I have pain, A, B, C, D, you see this just happens less to people that take care of themselves because they are in the hospital and in the healthcare system, less because they are not as sickly as obese people. But what you should do is always get a second opinion about shit. If you feel like you didn't get an answer and there's a problem, you should get a second opinion. Everybody should. Thinking that the doctors are not actually listening to you, that is your bias of being a fat fuck is what's causing you to think that that's fat phobia, when in fact that happens to everybody. To everybody.
Some people are under the impression that when we talk about medical fat phobia, this means that we think doctors should never encourage their patients to lose weight. I do not personally believe this. I do still believe that sometimes encouraging weight loss can be beneficial, but encouraging weight...
If the person's obese all the time, being morbidly obese is 100% of the time unhealthy. They should absolutely, if they are your doctor and they care about you and they're doing their job, they should absolutely address it every fucking chance they fucking get.
Weight loss shouldn't overshadow actually listening to your patient's symptoms and giving them adequate health care.
I believe that too, and I completely agree with you. However, that is not a fat person thing. That is a fucking medical field thing. That is a healthcare thing. And young man, I can say this because I was a healthcare executive and did fucking seminars on doctors doing this shit and making sure they covered their asses because the healthcare industry is worried about getting sued for medical errors. So therefore, a big thing was no matter what the person is like, that they cover every possible situation, which includes every possible little thing. And oftentimes doctors are overworked, very sleepy, and getting very little rest, and then don't do a good job because they're fucking tired. Especially when they have talked to a person over and over and over and over again about the one thing that would systemically help their health in the most fucking way, which would be losing fucking weight.
Now, obviously, fat-phobic people have counter-arguments to many...
Fat-phobic people. Like, how does he think this is not biased? There's people that are fat-phobic. They have a phobia. They're wrong. And then there's people that are just, I mean, this is not nuance. Like, again, somebody should send this motherfucker a dictionary and highlight the fucking word nuance so he actually fucking understands it. Because having an assumed assumption about a person's motives, their feelings, how they are as a person, and the entirety of their being, wanting to be bullies and be fat phobic and have a fucking problem, that is not nuance. That is your fucking bias from you being a fat fuck and having your fifis hurt by people calling you a fat fuck. That's what that is.
Of the issues I just mentioned, they'll say things like, fat people aren't oppressed. Stop trying to compare fat oppression to real oppression like racism.
Yeah, 100 fucking %. Like racism. What the fuck? Yeah, fucking motherfucker, stop doing it.
I 100% agree that throughout history, people have faced much more oppression because of race than because of fatness. But
how is fatness oppression? It is a choice. You are privileged to eat in a fashion that you have to require so little activity that it accumulates extra on you. Like we are a species of people that used to have to acquire our food and get it, and the people that weren't good at those things died because they starved to death because they couldn't acquire food. You and every other obese person being able to eat in a way that they do not expend such calories that they actually accumulate weight in an egregious fashion to the point where it negatively affects their fucking body is privilege. It is massive fucking privilege. Fat oppression does not exist. If anything, the state of obesity of America is oppressing all of society in trillions of dollars in extra care and over 1 million some deaths that are avoidable every single fucking year. Jesus.
But if you can listen to the entire list I just gave of all the ways fat people are oppressed and activists calling me fat phobic to lose weight, he failed to actually, because they're not.
Did I miss the fucking list? Oh no, I didn't. I keep accidentally clicking back here.
Then because of fatness. But if you can listen. than because of fatness. But if you can listen to the
Okay, higher rates of bullying. Complete fucking opinion of what bullying is. Somebody telling you to lose fucking weight, that would be good for you, that's not bullying at all. Higher rates of abuse. I mean, I'm not saying that does not happen. I am saying that is fucking also something I would like to see. Higher rates of suicide. Well, depression and neuroinflammation and cognitive disorders and mental disease do come along with being obese in both how the person looks and their self-image, because deep down they know that there's a fucking problem, but also the fact that, again, mental illness is caused from cognitive disorder and stuff like that. So absolutely. And a lot of times the medications they put fat people on cause that. Jobs hiring less often. It depends on the fucking job, but I will also fucking say this, that fucking if you are doing a construction job, you're going to get hired less if you're fat. Seen as ugly for being fat. That's a matter of fucking opinion, and why the fuck do you even give a fuck? Pressure from diet culture. How about the pressure from fucking society to accept the fact that we should accept trillions of extra dollars to help support people's bad lifestyle fucking decisions, and also that you are eating yourself in front of us to fucking death. Unhealthy weight cycling. That's because you have failed to plan a healthy lifestyle. Less clothes that fit them. Are you going to be okay? Really? Maybe you should make your own fucking clothes. At least we'll be getting some fucking activity. Less accommodating businesses. Why should people accommodate your poor lifestyle choices? We don't have something that has something for, alcoholics, so they can make sure they get their shots in between fucking, meetings. More expensive health insurance because you are more expensive to deal with the healthcare industry, and worse medical treatment. Everybody gets treated poorly by the fucking healthcare industry. Everybody.
The entire list I just gave of all the ways fat people are oppressed, and still come to the conclusion that
they are not oppressed. You are not oppressed. You cannot live in such overabundance and overconsumption that you get obese and consider yourself oppressed in any fucking way. I mean, if you are, the person oppressing you is you. You are oppressing you.
Fat people face no oppression, then at this point,
no, you will face oppression from you. And I'm not saying, here's my thing. I'm not saying that there's not some people that just say mean shit to fat people to hurt their fucking feelings. You know what those mean people that say mean shit to fat people to hurt their feelings? They're horrible people. And they're going to say mean shit to somebody, even if the fat person loses weight. They'll say something about to lose skin. If they see a person that's bigger and stronger than them, they're going to say the person is on steroids. You know how I know? That happens to me all the fucking time. They're going to try to say something mean to people because that's what mean people do. You understand? The thing is, you as a fat person are taking it so to fucking heart that it's affecting your whole fucking world. It's affecting your fifis so fucking much because you are soft like the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that you look like. That is the fucking issue. You yourself are allowing yourself to be oppressed by yourself, by how you take this shit. Suck it the fuck up.
You're just being willfully fucking ignorant. They also say that they're not fatphobic because they're not afraid of fat people, but obviously, just like homophobia, these phobias aren't just about fearing a group, they're about any type of discrimination against that group. And
the only people that discriminate against fat people are fat people. I mean, equating homophobia and fatphobia is disgusting to me. People should be able to love who they want to love. It's consensual and nobody is being fucking harmed. You are harming yourself by being morbidly obese. Equating harm to love is disgusting. Like fucking, this should upset every homosexual and bisexual hearing that. Equating fat phobia to homophobia is in fact ridiculous. Homophobia doesn't hurt homosexuals don't hurt anybody that minds their own fucking business. Homosexuals do not hurt a fucking soul that mind their own fucking business. If somebody's homosexual right down my next door neighbors, which I believe they are, I don't even know, but if they're homosexual, they don't harm me. But you, young man, you, through your gluttony, are going to add extra pressure on the healthcare system that affects me and affects everybody. To equate fat phobia and homophobia to be the same fucking thing is such a fucking pandering reach to fit your fucking argument. It is grotesque to me. The LGBT community should be pissed at you. They should be massively upset with you. To compare how somebody, the attraction somebody has to who they're fucking, who they prefer to sleep with, who they're born wanting to sleep with, to compare that to fat phobia is grotesque. It is an overreach that should never be fucking accepted. Like, when your actions of just who you love, as long as everybody is consensual and everybody fucking loves everybody and everybody's down for fucking whatever happens, that's their business. It harms nobody. It's their business. People should butt the fuck out. Mind your own fucking business. But obesity is a massive burden on our fucking society, and therefore everybody's fucking business. How are people not fucking seeing this? How do people not understand when they equate shit like homophobia and racism, which are no fault of the person's own, harm nobody else? A black person by being black harms no fucking body. An American Indian, from being or Native American, whatever the fucking terminology we're supposed to use, a Native American being Native American harms nobody. A black person being black harms nobody. Homosexual being homosexual with other homosexual people harms nobody. A fat person burdens society through their gluttony and privilege. People need to fucking get there. What the fuck is wrong with you? That is privilege on a fucking grand scale. To equate homosexuality and fatphobia as both discriminatory things that happen just because, like, to equate homophobia and fatphobia is privilege beyond privilege. I cannot even fucking believe that this motherfucker said that shit. What the fuck? I mean, how the fuck do you even get there? That you need to fucking yank your head out of the fucking fairy tale land you fucking live in, that you make yourself obese and you are the one to fucking, like, obese people cause burden. It just is reality. And you're going to fucking say that it's the same as homophobia. When somebody is homophobic, they are the problem. The gay person is not affecting them at all. The gay person is not affecting them at all. Even if a gay person walks up to a straight person and hits on that person, take it as a fucking compliment. If you are a homophobe, you have a problem. You should fucking get some fucking help. You should understand why somebody actually acting like they're like, if you're a dude out there and some other guy walks up to you and says, "Hey, I think you're gorgeous. Do you want to go out with me?" And you get pissed instead of saying, "Thank you very much, but I'm straight. I appreciate the compliment." You should fucking check yourself. There's something fucking wrong with you. If you get mad at the person, that is a serious problem. They are not hurting you in any way. They complimented you. They fucking said something nice to you. You should check why that bothers you so fucking much, because it didn't do anything but actually compliment you. They are not hurting you. A fat person does use more healthcare than other people. A fat person does add to the burden on the healthcare system. A fat person does add to the level of chronic illness and disease. And a fat person does add to the number of high-risk people that we have had that over the last 2 years was used as an excuse to lock fucking society down. So please save me. Miss me with that fucking shit where you're trying to equate homophobia and fatphobia as the same fucking thing. Because one of them is a real fucking thing that's a real fucking problem, because homosexuals don't hurt any fucking body. They just want to love the people they want to fucking love. When fatphobia is a statement made by fat people who don't love themselves enough to be fucking healthy, and they want other people who try to point out that they are in fact burdening society to try to shut those people up. So please miss me with that fucking shit. You fucking pandering ass motherfucker. This is the weakest fucking argument ever. This should upset every gay person. Every gay person should be fucking pissed by that, what that dude just said.
And usually discrimination does stem from fear when you get to the heart of it. Homophobic people discriminate against gay people because they fear a society where gay people are seen as equally valid and they're free to be themselves and are treated just like everyone else. And fatphobic people discriminate against fat people because they fear a society where fat people are seen as equally valid and are free to be themselves and are treated just like everyone else.
We pander to fat people in our society to such an immense degree and have for fucking decades. It is in fucking insane. They are the most privileged people on the fucking planet. On the fucking planet. And I will state my argument again. If you hate a homosexual person because you just hate homosexuals, you are the fucking problem. You should get some fucking help. Because hating somebody for something that does not affect you in any fucking way is absolutely a you problem. You have fucking mental issues you need to fucking deal with, period. However, if you eat yourself into fucking illness that then the rest of society has to share the fucking burden for, that is a you problem. You need to fix that shit, because you are burdening society, and you not wanting to hear how you shouldn't be fat and burden society, if that hurts your fifis, that's also a you problem. The fucking amount of privilege and entitlement is disgusting.
A fatphobic person might also say, well, fatphobia is good actually, because people should be afraid of being fat. But fat is a completely natural part of every human body. We all—
Oh my God. What the fuck? You're right, it is a natural human part of every human body. Excess fat is not.
All need fat to survive. Now, I do think that we should exercise caution with fat because too much of any substance in your body can cause negative effects. Too much potassium, too much iron, too much sodium, too much of anything. Even drinking too much water can be harmful. But we shouldn't fear fat because fear leads to things like body dysmorphia.
You should fear being obese. You should be terrified of being obese. You should be absolutely horrified. If you're not afraid of being obese, when you leave here, go look up the images for diabetic foot amputation. Go look up the images for necrotizing fasciitis in the skin folds. You should be terrified of being obese. It should fucking worry you. If you're fat, you should wake up thinking, I need to take care of this shit. It should terrify you. It is bad for you. Absolutely. But him trying to equate it to these other things, too much of this, too much of that, too much of this. Everybody needs to have fat on their body or you die. Absolutely, that's fucking true. However, when you glutton yourself over and over and over and over again to the point where you have saved up extra energy and fucking rolls on yourself, when you are so fucking privileged that you can fucking do that, you are hurting yourself with your excess. So this little argument is nothing but word salad to try to make it seem like being fat is not a fucking problem when being obese is in fact one of the most dangerous things you can do to your fucking body. Being fat causes 13 different types of cancer at a higher rate than smoking. That's a fact, bitch.
Eating disorders, seeing other people as ugly if they're fat, hating other people for their bodies, and constructing systems that do nothing but hurt fat people.
No system hurts fat people more than the system of them eating and not moving in accordance to how much calories they're burning. No system.
They also say that bullying fat people is actually good because if we bully them enough, then they'll all lose weight and get healthier. They claim that they're bullying fat people because they care about them and they just don't want them to.
Well, your definition of bullying is anybody telling you anything you don't want to fucking hear because you're a pussy. But I don't think that we should be overtly mean to people. I don't think that is super constructive. However, being overtly mean to people, bullying somebody is telling them a lie straight to their face that they know they're lying about. You see, I could talk to this guy live and I could tell him, you know what? You are not eating yourself into illness. And he would know deep down that I'm lying to him. And that's bullying to me. That is mean to me. That is mean to lie to people's faces when they know you're lying to their face. It is mean to give somebody hope about something that they hope beyond hope is true, that they can be, in fact, obese, but not also be ill. That is fucking horrible. I gotta watch the time here, guys, just so you know. I didn't get through even part of his fucking video. Oh, I got some time. We're gonna fucking roll.
Die from a heart attack. This is complete bullshit because bullying has never been shown to actually help people lose weight. This goes against basic psychology. All that bullying fat people does is makes them hate themselves, which damages their mental health.
They already hate themselves and their mental health is already damaged. If you are morbidly obese, you are hurting yourself every day and you know it. You are self-harming with food every single day. You are self-medicating and self-harming with food every single day and you fucking know it. There's already some sort of self-hatred there. There's already some sort of self-sabotage there. There is already some mental issues going on. Truth. That's why we tell everybody if you're morbidly obese, you should probably get some counseling to find out why. That's why we have a PhD psychologist that we refer people to at our coaching. For real. I mean, that is absolutely why. You already have some self-hatred. If you have eaten yourself into morbid obesity, you are trying to love yourself with food. You are trying to self-soothe with food in some way, and you know it.
Which makes them more likely to eat to cope with their poor mental health.
He just argued against himself.
Which makes them more likely to gain weight. So if your goal is really for there to be less fat people in the world, the best thing for you to do is not bully them.
You're right. We should not bully them. We should be very, very, very truthful with them. Lying to people is in fact bullying too. Lying to people, hey, you're perfectly fine the way you are. That is a lie. That is a lie. You want people to lie to you. You want people to lie to you because you're weak, because you have weakness, because you have admitted that things that people have said have shamed you and made you feel bad when you know it's your health. You are literally avoiding getting healthier when you have asthma, and it is known that you would be healthier if you lost weight. Your bias. There's no nuance here. Go learn what that fucking word means.
If your perspective is really that fatness is some horrible thing, then you should start being extra nice to fat people. Because
And I am, by telling them the absolute truth in a society that pats them on the ass and tells them they're okay. A society for decades now has led to people being more and more and more and more and more obese. I am telling people the truth that being morbidly obese is in fact bad for you. It is in fact a burden on yourself, on society. It does in fact lead to trillions of extra dollars of money we do not have to fucking spent in all of our names in shared healthcare costs in our society. I am being nice to fat people by telling them the truth because guess what? Very few people, including you, bitch, do.
when their mental health is in a good place, that's when they're most likely to be able to start making healthy choices like exercising and eating more healthy foods.
No, see, this is a big misnomer too. I'm going to get my mental health correct first. That way I can get healthy physically. That's not how that works. You are not going to be mentally healthy when you're not going to get to a state of mental health when you are abusing your physical fucking body because it fucks up your hormones, it fucks up your mentality. You know deep down you're abusing yourself with food. You are not going to get mentally healthy unless you also get physically healthy at the same time. It's not going to fucking happen. I mean, that is an excuse that fat people use to avoid losing weight. That is this motherfucker's eating, talking. That is his love of cake or whatever the fuck he likes that is eating to abundance. It's making him this fat. That is the problem.
Fatphobic people will also argue that
I love how he just says fat phobic people. Like he equates everybody that tells anybody to lose weight as fat phobic. Like you have no nuance. You have no fucking argument. You're automatically assuming that fat good, being morbidly obese, perfectly okay, that that there's not a problem with it, and anybody that says anything against it is fat phobic. They are already a phobic. This is not an actual both sides of an argument. This is a defense of the arguments of fat phobia, and then you're going to talk about how some people go a little too far. I mean, this is fucking. This is really like this is a disguise for just fat acceptance content. That's all this is.
Insurance companies charge fat people more because fat people are statistically more likely to face health problems. And every clothing store doesn't carry sizes that fit fat people because bigger sizes take more material to produce, which leads to less profits for the business. And you can't expect every flight to accommodate fat people because selling 2 seats for the price of 1 reduces their profits.
That's all true.
Did you notice how all of these arguments were capitalist arguments about profits? I can understand these arguments from a capitalist perspective where your only motive is profit, but I'm anti-capitalist.
So you're biased. So you're biased as a motherfucker. I'm going to point out that how are you anti-capitalist? Again, you're sitting here with like a $300 microphone in a fucking whatever, how much money suit. You're fucking sitting here making YouTube videos on a monetized YouTube channel with a paid fucking promo on this fucking video, and you're anti-capitalist. Please do tell me how that fucking works, you liar. I mean, you may be anti-capitalist for everybody else, for the people that might make you feel bad about being a glutton, but you obviously have no problem with capitalism and the food you buy in excess to glutton yourself to morbid obesity, and then the people that are paying you to do a promotion, and also the people you bought from the microphone and the food you buy. You stating yourself that you are anti-capitalist in word only, literally in word only, like from every visual thing we see, you're a capitalist. But for real, you have just admitted that, again, you are fucking biased. Fuck.
Self-hatred, which will also cause their mental health to improve. Bullying them and not making society better for them in any way do not actually care about better outcomes for fat people. I would even argue that these people actually need people to be fat, because if no one was fat, notice how all of these arguments were capitalist arguments about profits. I can understand these arguments from a capitalist perspective where your only for fat people is good because I care about making life better for people, not squeezing out every little bit of profit possible for the purpose of lining the pockets of wealthy shareholders.
But so don't make content. Like don't do paid promos. Like you're not trying to put this argument out to help people. You're getting paid, motherfucker. Like you are getting paid. This is a paid promo on a fucking paid channel. You're getting fucking paid for this. That's fucking crazy. I mean, like I be real, guys. We've been on for a while now, but I'm gonna take questions because He's a liar, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion, of course. I don't want anybody to fucking think like, oh, legally, blah, blah, blah. I think he's lying to himself more than anything. Like, you are not an anti-capitalist. You're anti-other people making money. You're good with you making money, dude. You're real good with you making money. As you sit there again with like a $300 microphone and a full fucking studio set up for your fucking YouTube videos, and you're fucking in your suit with your fucking $3 haircut. You probably saved some money on that. I mean, sorry, that was mean. That was mean. That was mean. It might be $5. But I mean, you're sitting here all capitalist up, talking about how you're anti-capitalist. Why should it, like, I'm not going to take you seriously from fucking any fucking point forward on this. You have literally pandered and lied about almost everything you fucking said, presented, and I'm fucking done with this fucking dude. I'm fucking done. You have presented the argument, you're trying to present it as there's two sides when you are already presenting it as the one side where people would try to get people to lose weight. All of those people are already wrong, and why they're wrong. And then you're going to present the the fat activist side as some people maybe take it too far. I don't even know. I'm not going to go farther because you, in of yourself, Mr. Beard, are literally not credible. I'm anti-capitalist. As you sit there in front of an entire YouTube studio full of equipment, broadcasting in 4 fucking K on a paid promo fucking video on a monetized YouTube channel on Google. And you're anti-capitalist. You're a joke. You're a full-on joke. That's the end of it. That's the end of that. You're a joke. I'm going to get to some Q&A and then I'm going to be done for the day. Holy shit, that was ridiculous. Manipulator. He's trying to manipulate words to make himself. He's trying to make himself sound so eloquent, and I'm just presenting this argument because I'm very, very, very intelligent, dude. You cannot answer facts and data. You didn't know research. I have asthma, and it's not like maybe you should lose some fucking weight. You wouldn't have asthma as bad. Factually, the homophobia thing. Alan, please try to have the mayor of fat acceptance across America on your live for a debate. Who is it? Does this guy not know you can't be fat in a forced boot? Like, seriously, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't even fucking get it. The homophobia, fatphobia thing is complete bullshit. I mean, people should stop doing that. That is horrific. That is disgusting to me. Like, somebody being gay, I'm going to go over this one more time because this is the importance of this. So I might even steal the snippet of this off here. But just as a thought for the day, one of the most ridiculous arguments I heard from the Mr. Beard thing was that homophobia and fatphobia can be interchangeable. They're linked. They're both phobias, so therefore both bad. When in fact, homophobia harms nobody. As long as it's between two consensual people, two consensual adults, it harms nobody. It's nobody's business. There's no victim of it at all. It doesn't add burden to society. It does nothing but let two people love each other. That is it. If you have a problem with two people just loving each other, that's a you problem. You should get that checked out. If a gay person hitting on you hurts your feelings in some way or angers you, you should examine why when the gay person is in fact giving you a compliment. You should check yourself and understand why. Maybe get some counseling, maybe deal with some issues that you got going on, because they're not hurting anybody at all. They're not hurting anybody at all. Nobody loses. People just get to love each other. That's it. That's all homosexuality is two people being consensual, loving each other. Nobody's hurt. Obesity is a burden upon society as it leads to many chronic illnesses and diseases that we then all share the burden of healthcare cost and burden on our healthcare system for. Like, you cannot consider yourself oppressed in the same way if you're fat as a homosexual who faces homophobia would be, because they are harming nobody, and somebody giving them a hard time is just somebody giving them a hard time because they don't like homosexuals. It's none of anybody else's business. Somebody being fat does affect the rest of society. in their overconsumption and privilege, and then to actually express that you think these two things are in any way the same shows another level of massive, massive privilege that should upset everybody, but especially people who are in the gay community. That should upset them tremendously because it is not nearly the same thing. And if you believe it is, you should check your logic because you truly do not understand what you're talking about. God damn. And I'm going to use that little snippet. He's the bozo you were just talking about. He's the mayor of fat acceptance. He's a fucking idiot. I'd destroy him. I already did. If he were intelligent, he wouldn't be a communist. No shit. It's just a victim mentality. Exactly. The mayor of fat acceptance. The mayor of fat acceptance looks like a fucking idiot who literally is trying to co-opt homophobia and the plight of homosexuals in our fucking society for people that hate them for nothing more than who they want to fucking love. That's disgusting. I mean, that's fucking disgusting. You people make me ill. That makes me ill. Anybody that does that, that makes me ill. That makes you a bad person. No shit. No shit. I truly love this debate. He was also generalizing all fat phobics as just people not wanting to treat people as equals, which is just opinion. Here's the thing. I believe people are equal. A 400-pound dude could stand next to me, and I stand next to him, and we're equal. We each have self-responsibility to make sure we don't burden each other. I'm not burdening him. I barely use my fucking healthcare, and I pay pretty fucking good premium for my fucking healthcare. I barely use my shit, and I'm not actually fucking adding to the carbon emissions. I actually grow some of my own food. My plan in the next 5 years is to grow almost all of my own food and to hunt most of my own food. 5 years from now, that's what I want to be doing, the majority of, is growing my own food, eating my own food off of my own land and hunting and filling it up. And if I don't hunt all my own meat, I will go to local farmers and support local. Like, we both are treated equally in my eyes. We both have responsibility to not burden society. That is equal treatment. I believe that I should be treated equal as this person who in fact uses more resources than I do, therefore taking more of their fucking share. Literally even being harder on the planet by carting his fat ass around and also fucking with carting around and processing and packaging all the extra food he fucking eats. Equality is equality. That's privilege. Being 400 pounds is privilege. You're burdening society. You're using more resources. It's privilege. Hey, Alan, any advice for truckers and other folks that spend a sizable length of time on the road to stay healthy? You should stop very periodically and make sure you get some twisting on your spine, all the directions, side, front, back, twist. Make sure often as you can, get some stretching in. At every stop, you should do some stretching because sitting is horrible on your fucking, horrible on you. It's horrible. But also, you should make sure you get a little bit of daily activity no matter what. At least get a 30-minute brisk walk in after that. Because for real, you get almost no activity sitting there. And then you should eat at a very low caloric load. I know that sucks. You should get a lot of water, stop often as you can, and eat a very low caloric load because you're not going to have that big of a caloric expenditure. You should likely take your desired body weight, like say you want to weigh 170 pounds. You should take that, multiply it by 11, and that's what you should stick with to see where your weight's at. So in a roundabout way, eat between 1,700 and give it 20% leeway. Eat like 1,700 to 2,200 calories if you want to weigh 170 pounds. And if you eat that and then you still weigh too much, if you're still obese, then you got to cut it down a little bit because you can't actually increase your activity. You should also make sure you're eating very, very, very low amounts of ultra-processed carbohydrates, especially sugar, because that's just going to spike your insulin levels, tell your body to store fat, all sorts of things, make you even hungrier. You should try your very, very best to pack as many meals as you can. If you have a refrigerator in your trailer, you should use that, but then make sure that you eat as much whole food, lean meats as you can. I hope that helped you, dude. How about this? Your overeating takes food out of somebody else's mouth. Exactly. Your overeating takes food. Yep. Unrealistic expectations. To have self-responsibility is unrealistic expectations for you? You might want to step up the timetable by looking at the economy. No shit. Privilege is having a pool. I am very privileged. I am very privileged at having a pool. I've worked hard for my fucking privileges. I'm not trying to say I'm not privileged. I'm extremely privileged. I'm privileged to make money by helping people lose weight. I'm extremely privileged by being able to afford to put art on my body that I love. I'm extremely privileged in being able to live in a nice house with my wife, who I love, and employ my son in our businesses. I am extremely privileged. I'm extremely privileged by being able to have a pool and live in the free state of Florida. I am extremely privileged. I have earned these privileges. I have earned them. I have earned them. They burden nobody. They help people. Thin privilege. Motherfucker, I was fat as fuck. So this is not privilege. Me being thin and in shape is fucking earned. There are just fat consequences. Weak ass shit. I love your channel. You rock. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. I tell you what, I've been on quite a while, and I got to get going. I definitely need to get some fluid in me. My water's right here. Shit. I'm behind now. I was ahead. I'm now behind. So I hope everybody had a great motherfucking day. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what the topic is going to be. I had it on the top of my head a little earlier, and I can't fucking think about it. But anyway, I hope everybody had a great fucking day. I'm just going to put in one more time. This is our coaching. We are running this coaching special for the people in the lives, and you can get a 30-minute consultation also. I hope everybody has a great fucking day. Everybody has a great fucking day. Do yourself a favor. If anything I said on this hurt your feelings, go to the mirror, talk to yourself about it, and see what you think. God damn.